Welcome back to the Check Swing Podcast with myself and the start of the show, Mr. Coach Santa over there. What's going on, good brother?
Greetings, salutations. Horrible transition, but
Yeah. It's been a while, so I'm out of practice of hitting buttons when I'm supposed to hit them and stuff like that. It's been a little bit. It's been about a month since maybe more since we've last done the Check Swing Podcast, and a lot of the uh broadcasts here on Neutrals Radio have kind of, taken a break a little bit over the month of August that we're in right now. But we are back here on the Check Swing Podcast. We have a lot to discuss. We have a lot to go over within the, things that have happened within the past few weeks. And we're going to do just that. But before I do, I got to ask you, Coach, how you been, man?
been good, man. Officially 1000% COVID free. So, like Donald Trump, I feel like I'm immune to everything in the world. Now with COVID, it was a rough week and a half back in July. And getting over the passing of my mother-in-law. She's in a much better place now, pain free, stress free. So I just want to carry on her legacy because she always encouraged us to, if there's something that we love, forget what everybody else says because they're either full of hot air or full of stuff. Just
Hmm.
do it. That was always her motto. Just do what you love. So doing what I love, coaching, talking smack with you, and doing my thing.
I love it. I love it. My condolences to you and the family and all like that, and to the wife, and definitely carry on her legacy with honor, as I know you will. Um, but with that being said, we are back on the show. We got quite a few things to talk about. Of course, the Phillies are in the playoff race right now, and it's pretty close. I mean, it's pretty close. It's pretty interesting, and the up and down Phillies. Sometimes you love them, sometimes you hate them, and either way, they're our team. So we got to talk about them. Fernando Tatis suspended for 80 games. We'll jump into that a little bit. Joe Girardi had some words for the Phillies. I don't know if you heard about what he said about their recent success, but we'll get into that as well. Deshaun Watson, Jalen Hurts, uh, Calvin Ridley. We'll talk about that a little bit. Sixers. There's a lot to talk about. There's a lot of things to talk about, and we're going to do it within an hour. We're going to be, jumping right through it. But let's start it off by talking about the Phillies playoff race and how things are looking for the Phillies, because right now it's August. It's mid August. It's August. The time we're recording this is August 18th, and we're coming down to the home stretch of the baseball season, the Major League Baseball season. We have your September is your really like your barn burner time, and right now they're gearing up for the barn burner time of September. Um, just took 2 out of 3 from the Cincinnati Reds. A lot of people were expecting them to sweep, but it's very hard to sweep a Major League Baseball team. Um, how are you feeling about Philly's chances right now, and how they're looking, and getting some players back eventually? And what are your thoughts, Coach?
Uh, I mean, we're half out of the wild card, 10 and a half out of the East. I mean,
Oh, we're out of the wild card right now.
I'm sorry. I apologize. We're up a half game.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, I was reading. I my pluses and my minuses. I'm still getting the vision back. Um, I thought that, and I think I've said it on the show many times that my biggest concern was the pitching. But based on the performance of Ranger Suarez today and Aaron Nola pitching losses of 1-0, I don't think pitching is going to be our Achilles heel. Um, but this hitting thing, man, I mean, to be swept by the Mets and shut out, or I'm sorry, losing 2 out of 3 of the Mets and being shut out in 2 of those games and only scoring 2 or 3 runs in that whole series is a bit
It felt like
concerning.
a sweep.
It felt like a sweep, yeah. I I know the Phillies teams from '08 on kind of went through that kind of not scoring. Even though you had Chase Utley and Ryan Howard, they just wouldn't score for a couple games. Even in the World Series, I think Howard didn't get his first hit till like game 3 or 4, and then he hit like 2, 3 home runs in 2 games. So I don't know if it's just the dog days of summer kind of hitting. So I'm hoping that they hit this stride like right now, and then they're supposed to get Harper back in a couple weeks, and it'll be kind of like a trade deadline edition. So I it's the same thing with all Philly teams. You go to the final stretch and it's like, they should have won these. They don't win these, and you know I think the amount of shutouts scares me.
It's concerning. It's
Yeah.
definitely concerning because going into the season, everyone felt that the strength of this team would be their bats,
Mhm.
and for them to go through some games and getting shut out, like shutouts was not something that we were really expecting to happen quite often. And it happened in back-to-back games. They lost a game the other day where they lost 1-0, two shutouts to the Mets. It doesn't look promising for the playoffs when you can't put up runs. In the playoffs, you got to put up runs because a lot of scoring happens in the playoffs. Um, Rarely do you get a pitcher stole in the playoffs because everybody's pretty much on point and they're hitting the ball and they're really getting things going. And you can't have games where you're not scoring. You get guys in scoring, and that's the other thing. They get guys in scoring position. They get guys on second and third base. They got guys in written scoring position and can't get them in. So you know you want to see guys like Nick Castellanos really step his game up. Kyle Schwarber, we want to get him back and healthy. Bryce Harper want to get him back and healthy. Just all these things. Oh, Brandon Marsh, get him back and healthy. Even though he's not necessarily known for his bat, but you have him out there for defensive purposes. But he can put the bat on the ball and sometimes make some things happen with his speed and aggressiveness. Really want to see the Phillies make a turn, but they're not giving us a reason to really feel like they're going to do so. We just don't have that,
I
and,
think
and it's frustrating as a fan.
a positive sign is that it seems like Castellanos is getting over the harp the Ben Simmons curse with the apartment that he got. So he's starting to kind of hit pretty consistently now. So I think with him coming back, you know, off of his slump, and then Schwarber hopefully being okay within the next week, then you got Harper in a couple weeks, and it sounds like the perfect form to like get to the finish line. You got Segura back and everything like that. So we'll see.
It feels that way. If I mean, you would think, um, but even with Schwarber in the lineup, they were getting shut out. Bryson in the lineup, they were getting shut. Like they really have to make these things happen. Now I'm looking at this picture here. Should I have had this picture up? Because
I
I'm
mean, it
just
was just a background pic. You can choose to have it up or not. It was just more of a background of what we were talking about. That's all.
well, I'm going to put it up because I like these uniforms, and you know, I always
Great,
have a soft spot in my heart for the powder blues for
definitely.
whatever reason. They take me back. They remind me of the '80s and Veterans Stadium. So I just want
Yeah,
to
we
put that up so we can see that.
we should get our own powder blues and have our own names and high school numbers on it.
That would be cool. That would be cool. I don't have any money though.
Yeah, kind of expensive.
Yeah, it's not necessarily in the budget right now, but either way, we can make it happen somehow, some way. Um, let's stick to the topic of baseball right now, and let's talk about one of the more popular players in the game. He graced the cover of MLB The Show last year. Just a popular player all around. I'm talking about Fernando Tatis Jr., who was given an 80 game suspension, which basically takes him out of the season. Takes him out for the rest of the season. For banned substance use. A lot of people had a lot of things to say about this. Miguel,
Hmm.
Fernando Tatis, the things that are being said. Do you think he? Do you? I mean, obviously he tested positive, so you got to say he's guilty. But is he guilty? It's hard to say he's not, right?
It's hard to say that he's not, and I think this is kind of a growing pain of immaturity. You go by the response of the team, because everybody from the manager to Machado to Musgrave, they all kind of said the same thing. Like they weren't defending him. Some of them, I think, even the start one, is it Clevenger or one of their starting pitchers was like, I'm bummed and I'm pissed
Mm-hmm.
because you're losing arguably one of the best players in baseball over something
Yeah.
that was really kind of weak and dumb. But this kind of goes along the line of what he's done maturity wise over the last year. Because remember, he was out for the season prior to because he injured his wrist in the offseason driving a motorcycle and did not report it until he reported to spring training.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, you remember there was a video clip, I think it was last year, when him and Machado were going at it in the dugout. There was
No,
a there,
no,
there
I
was
don't think I saw that.
so there was a screaming match between the two. They had to be separated. This was kind of towards the. It was around this time last year. They were kind of going towards the pennant race. It was like maybe a couple games before they got eliminated, and allegedly it was it had something to do with a play that there was some miscommunication on, and I think some people were kind of siding with Tatis and thinking that Machado was trying to big time him and make him look bad. But then when you look at what he did in the offseason with the motorcycle accident and now this, because for those that don't know, he took a allegedly he was taking something that had an illegal steroid in it to remove a ringworm from a quote unquote bad haircut,
According to his father.
according to his father. And his mother said something along those lines as well. And there was a comment made by Pedro Martinez um, on a show along with Jimmy Rollins, where Pedro Martinez basically blamed Major League Baseball. I'm sorry, he blamed the San Diego Padres
Mm-hmm.
organization. He was of the mindset of, well, this is your investment into your future. You need to know, even if he has a headache, is he taking the right aspirin? So he blamed the Padres, but Jimmy Rollins turned around and defended it and said, well, at the end of the day, he took this at home. And they were kind of going back and forth because it was really, where did he hear that he took it from home? But he's like, at the end of the day, like, he's a grown man. He should
Mm-hmm.
know what he's putting into his body. He should know where he's getting stuff from.
Yeah.
Plus, when he got caught and was told, he didn't fight it at all. Even with the Players Association, he did not fight it. He accepted it. So he knew he was in the wrong right from the rip.
Yeah, when you anytime you see somebody test positive for something like that and they don't know about it, they immediately fight it. Like, well, no, what are you talking about? Whatever, whatever.
Right.
Um, the question I have is, would it really have helped him? Would excuse me, I shouldn't say it. Would it have enhanced him? If it's true that he took it because of a ringworm from a haircut, somewhere in there, I guess you're putting some ointment or something. Would it really? I mean, I guess, because why else would he have gotten suspended for it? But really, like, the timing of it is terrible for the Padres because they just picked up Juan Soto. So they had that lineup with Machado, Soto, Tatis. Like, it was going to be a big time lineup, and now they're not going to see it. They're definitely not going to see it in the playoffs. It's just sad to see. Um, Speaking of some of the reaction, you had Jonathan Papelbon, who always has something to say about something. I mean, I don't even know why he still gets a microphone put in his face. Well, I know why, because he's going to say something controversial. But um, he said, bro, somebody in the Padres organization tell Tatis Senior to shut the f up. He used an anabolic steroid. Um, Senior says millions of people are going to stop watching baseball. Wrong. They're going to stop watching your cheating son, who is more of a dumb, you know what, senior or junior. So basically, his comments were really directed towards, and they were on Twitter, not necessarily on the microphone, but his comments were directed towards Tatis Senior, who was also a baseball player, was also a major leaguer. Um, but I gotta say, do we really care what Papa Bond has to say? I mean, I we in Philly, we kind of don't, just because, but like, does the baseball world care what Papa Bond has to say?
He's getting paid by the organization that gave him a radio and or gave him a microphone. So he's going to keep doing and you know whatever he's like the white Stephen A. Smith. That's where he's getting to.
There
But
is there are a few people that would get paid probably a decent amount of money to give their opinions on a podcast or whatever. And those three people that I'm thinking of, and you'll probably not see them with a job doing it except for Papelbon. Papelbon, the other guy's main name just slipped my head just now, but you'll be able to help me. Papelbon, John Rocker, and Billy Wagner. That was the other guy I was thinking of. Billy
what
Wagner.
about Kurt Schilling? Kurt Schilling, because
I
Kurt
feel
Schilling,
like he would not make a whole lot of money, because I feel like, I mean, yes, he would. He's Kurt Schilling, like, you know.
well, he kind of he actually got himself because he got himself into a lot of trouble, especially with his pro gun and
Yeah, I mean, like, I really don't care what Kurt Schilling has to say about anything.
yeah,
I really don't. I mean, he was what, he's a borderline Hall of Famer, if that,
yeah.
which, doesn't mean anything when it comes to his opinions, but the opinions he has seem, even though I feel like they're genuine to him, they reek of, I'm saying this for shock value. They
Yeah,
just they just reek
some
of
of
that.
they're attention whores, and I think they just have daddy issues or mommy issues, and
They
you
could.
know. But
They
I
could.
mean, not for nothing. I mean, Papelbon is right. I think I think
Yeah.
Tatis
Yeah.
handled it because again, you're going based on the reaction of the organization, which is expressing disappointment and frustration, and then you have Tatis who's like, "I did it, my bad," and then that's it. So it's like for the dad to say anything, it's not helping. For even the mother to say something, it's not helping.
Yeah, it's kind of weird that the parents are defending him, but he's not even defending himself.
Right.
So maybe he knew it was possible that he would test positive, um, and he's just accepting of it. Now, I have heard of, I can't remember, it was alcohol or something that can kill a ringworm. He should have just did that. Why take something with an anabolic steroid in it, knowing that it could get you knocked? Um, but we'll see. Can he come back from it? I mean, A Rod kind of it was tarnished a little bit. There's a lot of players that were tarnished because of the steroid era. A Rod's legacy kind of tarnished a little bit. I mean, people still love A Rod, but it kind of put a little dampener on his star. Mark McGuire, it definitely did. Sammy Sosa, it definitely did. And of course, I'm talking about guys from 20 years ago. Shoot, probably maybe even a little bit more. Tatis Jr. Can he come? Is he that popular? Like, he's actually a guy that the MLB probably was ready to hang their hat on to make the game popular to the youth again. Can and I feel like the MLB was getting to the point where they were just getting back to really trusting their players to really put them out there as advertising the league and having them as the face of the league. Because after the steroid era, they kind of really stopped doing that. Tatis was one of those guys where he's a fun guy. He's fast. He can home runs. He does everything that the youth would like to see. Can he come back from that? Does Major League Baseball go back to him as the face of the league?
It's gonna take a minute. I think he has to come back and show he has a lot to prove. He's gonna have a lot to prove because again, it was one thing if it was just this steroid incident, but you got the steroid incident, you got the bike incident, and you got the argument between him and Machado last year. So it just points to a lot of immaturity. Everybody loves a good comeback story. I think he has the ability to come back. Um, but I think it's just gonna take a long and winding road.
I feel like if it would take a long time, the MLB is not going to hang their hat on him again. I don't
Well,
feel
it's
like the MLB has a long time to wait. They
and
have
it's
to
fun-
find somebody else immediately.
and it's funny because when was the announcement? It was Friday, wasn't it?
I believe so. It was definitely last week. It
It
might have
was a
been
Friday
Friday.
because because even the announcement of it, they knew, I believe, on Wednesday or Thursday, but they tried to do the Friday news dump day and let it carry
Mm,
over the weekend. Um, because I remember we were in South Carolina in Myrtle Beach for our vacation, and all of a sudden, like Thursday, I was like, man, there's a lot of commercials for Tatis, hitting the home runs and looking at da 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 da,
yes.
and then
Yes.
I was like, oh, and then on Sunday I saw the same commercials. I was like,
Yes.
ah,
Yes. I,
too
I I
soon.
just thought that like immediately. Actually, I just didn't notice. I just feel like I saw the commercials more and more after the announcement, which
Right,
I was surprised because usually something like that happens. Ouch! You didn't see what happened. I'm glad you didn't see that. After after what happened, they usually pull the ads and you kind of try to delete that person from history in a sense.
right.
That didn't happen. His ad is probably playing somewhere on some channel right now.
Hmm.
So interesting to see. We'll see what happens in that situation. But we're going to go from one controversial person to another. We're going to transition into the game of football, and of course, we're going to talk about Deshaun Watson, who I no longer say he's my cousin. I used to tell people it was my cousin.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I used to say I was telling him he's my cousin. Long lost distant relative, but and he actually could be, but no, I don't claim him anymore because of the trouble that he's been in lately, and of course we're talking about these what was it, sexual harassment, not sexual, it was a sexual assault, sexual whatever these charges are. There are about 2 dozen of them. Um, Originally suspended for 6 games, and now the NFL got involved. Actually, the league got involved. And now his suspension is going up to 11 games with a $5 million fine. Miguel, is this enough?
What a conundrum. I think the issue is always, how do you balance between what legally happened and what the legal court, what the court says happened, and whether there's guilt or innocence, and then the NFL being its own judge, jury, and executioner. Um, I just don't understand how you give 11 games to a person who, you know, allegedly did what he did, but then you have the Calvin Ridley situation.
And Calvin Ridley bet on his team. Gambling is a no-no in a lot of professional leagues, especially NFL. Calvin Ridley was suspended for an entire season for betting on his team to win.
Right.
Think about that. Sounds like Pete Rose, right? Bet on his team to win a game and get suspended for a season, an entire season.
Yeah, it just reeks of what where the priority is for the NFL, and it's an open conversation. Everybody pretty much has been kind of aligned with the same line of thinking that they care more about the integrity of wins and losses versus the integrity of how men treat women off the field. So
Yeah, the NFL has a bad image issue when it comes to the treatment of women. And like you said earlier, it becomes tough because yes, very recently things were settled out of court, which means he never technically was found guilty. So it becomes a very touchy subject because technically you're suspending somebody that was never proven guilty. He was never proven innocent, but supposedly in our country, supposedly in our country, you're innocent until proven guilty. And usually when that happens is when you have to serve your time. He was never proven guilty. Um, and also there was a story that came out about the woman that said, or they interviewed the woman's son, and he said that his mom had nothing but good things to say about Deshaun Watson until somebody came to talk to her, and then her story changed. So you know, it's very it's very touchy. If he did these things, he deserves to be suspended for more than a year. Um, if he did not do these things, which it doesn't seem like he didn't, but I don't feel like maybe he did, but I don't feel like he ever technically came out and said and really denied the allegations. But at the end of the day, we live in a country where you have to be proven guilty. And really what happens is you're proven guilty in the court of public opinion before anything else. And this is basically what his suspension is rooted in, being guilty in the court of public opinion, right?
yeah, and he still says that he's just because he accepted the settlement the way that it was distributed, that he's still going to you know try to fix his name, and try to fix his reputation. And it's like, so we know, this is pretty much a fetish of yours. I mean, it's out there, so.
I mean, the thing is, let's just go ahead and say like he's guilty, right?
Mhm.
He obviously got away with it enough times that he felt like he could get away with it every time. That itself is a problem. That's an issue right there. There was one of the women, one of the victims was, I think she sued the Texans organization
Mhm.
for enabling him
Right.
to get away with these things. So I think this is long far from over. I really do. I think this is far from over. We haven't seen the end of what's going on. We got a comment here that I'm going to pop in here real quick from Little Boxes. Said, convenient that the first game eligible for Cosby is against Cosby is against the Texans. Ratings will be through the roof.
It's a little dig right there. That's all.
Oh, he's caught. Got it. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Bye bye.
Sorry about that. Yeah, that went right over my head, but I get it. I got you. Called him Cosby. Yeah. I mean, and that comment's coming from Little Boxes on Twitch. Appreciate the comment. Make sure you shoot us a follow. Um, oh wow, you know what? I'm reading his comment. His first game back is going to be against Texas. That is interesting. That's interesting timing. that is going to be against the Texans.
And you know
Like
the NFL,
11 games is a very specific number.
it
Go ahead,
stinks.
gather yourself.
No, because I mean, just it. How convenient is that?
Very.
Because again, it goes back to, okay, we're gonna suspend it, but we need the money game.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and it's funny
Money
when you go.
talks.
It's funny when you go back in time, and not to make it what it may sound like, but you know when you have the backstory of a Ben Roethlisberger,
One,
and
one, one that got away with what he allegedly did.
there's a somebody had brought it up on one of the radio shows about Peyton Manning and how there was a big possible scandal when he was at Tennessee or Texas. I forget. I always forget.
Tennessee.
Tennessee, right?
Hmm.
And there was a um, athletic trainer where he would allegedly, do certain things, not to the extent of Watson, but there were, exposés and stuff like that. But because of the Manning family and their influence, all of that stuff got buried. So, it's just amazing how, things change with different types of players, I'll say.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very interesting. We're going to keep a close eye on the Deshaun Watson situation. Honestly, I feel like if he did what he's being accused of doing, he should be out at least a year because when you think about Ray Rice, who, correct me if I'm wrong, was only suspended 3 games until the video came out, and then I think it was like 6, but the video came out, and then he never played another down of football in the NFL.
Yeah, and allegedly I think the commissioner's out was that he went by the written evidence and the testimonies of the officers and everything like that, which is what levy was the original levy of the penalty,
Hmm.
and then the video coming out afterwards. But
Which
it's
is
like,
interesting. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
no. I was just carrying it on, but no, that's fine.
Well, I was going to say it's interesting that you say that because this original suspension for Deshaun Watson was not handed down by the commissioner. If I'm if I am correct here, it was handed down by a whole a judge or whatever the case, and then the commissioner or in the NFL, but let's say the commissioner looked to
Outside our
instill a
review,
worse punishment.
yeah,
So, and of course, let's not forget the $5 million that he's fined. Um, but he'll still clear if my calculations are correct. He'll still clear about $45 million this year. So I don't want
yeah,
to. I'm not in the man's pocket, but 5 million. You're still going to get 45 million. That 5 million you're probably going to spend on something stupid.
and remember they turned around and guaranteed his contract.
They did. They did.
So he's going to be making 150 million plus,
Even if he doesn't play another down in
even if he
NFL.
doesn't play another down.
Let's stick with football for a little bit. Let's talk about our team here. Our Philadelphia Eagles, who had their first preseason game last weekend. Um, I believe they lost to the Jets. I stopped watching after halftime.
Can I clear something up? In preseason, you don't win and lose. Okay, because I have because there's people out there saying you guys lost to the Jets. Yes, we've lost to the Jets for the last 15 years in a row. It's completely
In
irrelevant.
preseason, yeah.
Thank you.
A few years ago, we lost the Browns in preseason when they stunk.
Yeah, so it's like if you care about what Buddy Wackett's doing in the fourth quarter of one of these games, you got serious gambling issues.
Yeah, yo, if you bet on preseason games,
You're a degenerate.
first of all, you're a G because I don't know how you do it. Like after the first maybe two drives. If Anyway, let's talk about the Eagles because Jalen Hurts looked good in his first and his only drive of the game. Got walloped out of bounds, came back the next play and scored a touchdown. Ran for a touchdown, got called back, then went back out the next play and threw for a touchdown. Looked pretty good, albeit in the preseason, albeit against the Jets. But what were your takeaways from the game?
Best part of that drive was the head coach going off on the Jets head coach on the sideline. I thought that was absolutely
Is that
fantastic.
who he was going off on?
Yeah, remember he it was right after the hit, and he was telling that that's BS, and you're full of crap and stuff like that. And the Jets coach was pacing up and down, acting like he couldn't see across the sideline. Um, but yeah, they definitely look good. I'm hoping that Jalen Hurts has fixed a lot of his mechanical issues because he has a great deep ball or the potential for one. It just seemed like as the season was going, he just wasn't consistent, and he would, you know, the coach inside of me was like, "Oh man, he's kind of like he's flying open, and he's not like really set when he throws sometimes." So I'm hoping that we see that consistency over time because he showed a lot of flashes last year, even the season before that. But the
One
hope.
thing we know about Jalen Hurts, if you followed his career from college, there are some people that followed him beyond college, or before college. I don't know if anyone up here did that. He has improved. He's always improved. He's always gotten better. Um, and honestly, I know Miguel, you're not in the area anymore, which is probably a good thing. Let me not say that. I love Philadelphia, but it's just crazy. But they they've been talking about him on the radio as if like I'm trying to like he's Coy Detmer or something. You know,
But
they act like he just has no ability out there. Like he's good, but he can't do this, he can't do that, can't do this. Listen, I think as fans, Eagle fans got very spoiled by the MVP caliber season that Carson Wentz had in his what was that his second or third season, and it was those things are very rare. Like you see quarterbacks have instant success, and then you see quarterbacks have success later on down the road. Jalen Hurts is one of those guys that is a down the road gets improves gradually over time. He's not your let's Peyton Manning did not have instant success. Troy Aikman did not have instant success. Tom Brady did. Tom Brady is a rare case, right? But how many quarterbacks do you see just have instant success right away that will put you in the position to win a Super Bowl? It doesn't happen often. Even though Ben Roethlisberger won a Super Bowl early, they won that Super Bowl in spite of Ben Roethlisberger. Now later on, they won a Super Bowl because of Ben Roethlisberger. But in that first Super Bowl win against the Seahawks, they just said, "Don't lose us the game." And then Ben Roethlisberger became what he was down the line. Jalen Hurts, I think personally, will become a very good quarterback. He could be great. Who knows? He's a weapon. He has got the arm, he's got the legs. He's a weapon. Don't look for him to be Tom Brady right away. That's why I think the downfall is for a lot of Eagles fans right now. Your thoughts on that?
I think he has the potential to become a combination of Donovan McNabb and the first 2 years of Carson Wentz. Um, because after a while, remember,
I'm sorry to cut you off. Donovan McNabb was one that didn't have instant success, but I'm sorry. Continue.
right?
I forgot all about Donovan.
Um, uh, but I think
Sorry.
that, yeah, I think he's a combination of those two, and I think you're going to start to see him do the things or not do the things that held back both Donovan McNabb and Carson Wentz. For instance, after a while, Donovan McNabb did get better, but then he stopped running. 'Cause I think that was a big knock on him later in his. He got
Yes.
bigger, and he would drag the play out, and he would do everything to try not to throw the interception.
Hmm.
Then you have Carson Wentz, who started to become kind of reckless and would actually run for the first down, but then dive and fumble a lot and stuff like that. You don't see those kind of things out of Jalen Hurts right off the rip. Like you'll see him run when he absolutely has to.
Yes.
You'll see
Yes.
him run out of bounds and baseball slide
Hmm.
where Wentz didn't. So I think that's where I see the growth potential of him being fixing the flaws of both McNabb and Wentz and becoming that guy. Um, Still kind of to me, he still looks a little undersized, but I think he has a great head on the shoulders, great poise. Um, and I think you see the normal progression. I'm glad that they lost in the first round of the playoffs. Against the great Tom Brady, because I think I always believe that in order for you to win, you have to lose. You learn how to lose, so that way you learn how to win.
Hmm.
Um,
Unless
and
your name's Tom Brady.
he's what'd you say?
Unless your name's Tom Brady.
Unless your name's Tom Brady, then you can get drunk in the Super Bowl parade and throw your Super Bowl trophy across two yachts. The hell's that? Um,
Awesomeness.
yeah, that is pretty awesome. But yeah, I definitely see a lot of potential there. The other issue is accountability, where Wentz started kind of speaking in footballese. We lost as a team. We did this. That. It's just like, no, bro. You lost that game because of that interception. You lost because of that indecision. Same thing with McNabb. They all kind of had that they were all the. It's that stupid passive aggressiveness that's like annoying, but what are you gonna do about it? Hers will say, "I sucked. I did terrible here. I'm gonna grow from this. Da 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 da." So that's what I'm saying. He's like a combination of he could be better than both McNabb and Wentz simultaneously, potential. And he has.
I almost wonder if that's a good thing.
There was a question he was asked about in training camp. Someone asked him, "Oh yeah, uh I think it was Brown versus Devontae," and he's like, "Do you feel as though as competitive they are that Devontae's gonna start complaining about not getting the ball?" He's like, "I'm not even messing with that. That's a stupid question. Next question." You know what I mean? That's the
Mm.
kind of stuff that you would not hear out of McNabb or you would not hear out of Carson Wentz. You'd hear the same old, "We're a team," blah blah blah. It's like he don't even address it. You know what I mean? So it's that type of maturity that you see.
I do like how he handles himself in the media. You know, he I feel like he's kind of built for the city. Like he's ready for the city. Like that we've had discussions on here and in other platforms where certain athletes are just not ready for this city. Um,
Yeah,
Ben Simmons, one. Carson Wentz, another. Certain players are not ready for this city. Um, he's ready for this city. I think Jalen Hurts could play in any organization in any city in this league and thrive. Ceiling to me for Jalen Hurts is Steve Young. And let me say this: I've never felt like Steve Young was great. I thought he was extremely good. I never thought he was great. I thought I thought that Jerry Rice made him great. When you have somebody like Jerry Rice to throw to, when you have a Randy Moss you can throw to, when you
he
have
had
a Terrell Owens you can throw to,
yeah.
that can make you great.
Hmm.
That gives you the when you have a Michael Irving to throw to, that can give you the image of being great. But we all know not all of them are great. So his ceiling to me is Jalen as Steve Young, but and I hope he can be great. Basement would be Carson Wentz.
Ouch.
And just as note, Carson Wentz and Ben Simmons both come to Philadelphia in the month of November.
I read that today. Yes, I think within like a week apart, right?
It's going to be fun.
And you
It's
know
going to
what?
be fun.
I would bet a third of my house Ben Simmons doesn't play.
I I wouldn't bet against. I would not bet against you on that. I wouldn't bet against you on that.
I'd give you
Um,
I'd give you one of my bathrooms.
did you see the video where somebody
Yes,
basically when they I saw the video but I didn't have the sound on. What they called him, Russell Westbrook or something?
he said something to that effect. He said he went up to him. He said, "Yo, man, but you ain't Westbrook. You ain't Westbrook." And he said, "All right, He's like, I gotta go. I gotta go. But thank you. But thank you. But thank you." I was like,
Ben Simmons catches a lot of hell, um, somewhat deservedly so. A lot of stuff I think he brought on himself by the way he has carried himself. But be that as it may, him and the Sixers reached an agreement on the $20 million lawsuit. I mean, I know why he was fighting for the money because it's money, but like he really probably shouldn't have got paid a dime. You know,
see, the issue again. It becomes the mental health issue, which is, I think he was trying to get the same sympathy that who was the Olympic gymnast that
Simone Biles.
Simone Biles, because it was around the same time.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
I think he really thought in his mind. I don't know if he was sitting at the dinner table with the Kardashians getting Botox or whatever, and the thought just appeared. Maybe I can get
Either
the
him
sympathy.
or his team had him make say that.
Right. Like, if I can get the sympathy of the fans, I really think it was just a calculated decision to try to get the fans on his side. But even in that, he still, just because of his personality, it wouldn't allow that to happen.
Yeah, I mean, look, um, I feel like the Sixers did him a disservice by trying to make him a point guard in this league. Um, I think in that situation, I don't think he should have been in the point guard in the point guard role. Maybe he could dominate the ball, but a point guard role I always felt like Scottie Pippen esque point forward. But Brett Brown was adamant on having him be Magic Johnson, LeBron esque. But I thought he was more of a Scottie Pippen, and I just didn't know he wouldn't shoot the ball. Um, but with that being said, he catches a lot of hell, especially in this city. He's going to catch a lot of hell in this city. Um, and I think I said it on this show when he was traded to the Nets. His his mind state of himself is is I think it's somewhere. Let me just go ahead and just when he had his press conference when he was introduced to the Nets, when he was introduced with the Nets, he made the comment of Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant are going to be running alongside him as opposed to him running alongside them. And it just spoke to me as to where his his mental state was as far as his basketball game is concerned. Almost like he's now the star on this team. They're going to be running with him, not the other way around, which might even be why Kevin Durant
Is asking for
wants
a
out.
trade. Right.
Let me get this guy out of here, or get him out of here. Whatever the case may be. But it is what it is. We'll have to see what happens. Can't say I'm wishing Ben Simmons luck, but he plays for the doggone Nets. Let's get to you stumping me. Looks like you're ready.
Train, train, train.
Oh Lord, this is going to be embarrassing because it's the same number, and you know I don't do jersey numbers in baseball. Rookie of the Year, 8-time All Star, 3-time Gold Glove, 1983 World Series, 3-time Silver Slugger. I was about to say something so stupid just now. I'm
No,
glad
it
I
may
didn't.
not be because you said that
No,
last
no,
time and you got it
no,
right.
no. It would be. It would have been stupid.
All
I'm
right,
not
well,
even going to say it. I'll
say
tell you
it.
later what I was going to say.
Say it for the ratings.
No, no, because they no, I
Do,
can't.
do it for the ratings.
I will lose all credibility as a baseball guy if I say who I was about to say. I,
Let's measure that. Come on.
no, I listen. Here's what I okay. Let's put it this way. The person I was going to say. Here's why I would have lost all credibility. He only played for one team,
All right,
and I
put it
know
in.
he only played for one team.
So here's how we can get around that without you losing face, and it will go based on my reaction. Put it in the private chat, so that way,
I'll do that. I'll
so
put it in the
so so
private chat right
so,
now so you can
so,
see.
so that way our fans will go based on my reaction. Oh, sweet Jesus!
Yeah, yeah. Because the first three ones I saw the colors there, and I was like, it's him. And I was like, wait a minute, he only played
You
for.
know what though? But it's not a bad answer. See, all
Yes, it
seriously,
is.
no, it's
Yes,
not.
it is.
It's not.
Yes, it
Do you know
is.
what? Do you know what his number is?
Is it 33?
No.
Yeah. Well,
You,
no, I
I,
don't.
for-
Was it
I got.
18? I really don't remember. 24, wasn't it? Was it 24? I do not remember what his jersey number was.
You don't. You really are bad at jersey numbers.
I'm terrible with baseball. I'm terrible with jersey numbers.
You go with basketball jersey numbers.
Basketball jerseys, I'm good. Football, I'm decent. Baseball, for whatever reason, I'm terrible with jersey numbers.
Wow,
Terrible,
that's part of the
absolutely
mystique.
terrible.
That's part
But
of the
okay, so
mystique.
what teams we got here?
All
Orioles.
right. So when I make this copy, sometimes you'll see like multiple versions of the same color scheme. It's because they played for them in two different times or multiple
So
times.
can I just put a name out there that I think it is right now?
Go for it.
Eddie Murray.
You got it.
There we go.
That is, my friend, 8 in a row. You were on a winning streak.
Eddie Murray. Yeah,
And
I forgot he played for the Angels too.
yeah, that was a very short stint. But
I remember him playing with the Indians and the Dodgers and the Orioles and the Mets.
I
I
first
remember
started
that.
watching him when he played for the Dodgers. I think one of the first Phillies Dodgers games I saw at the vet, he was playing first base for them. And I was just intrigued because he was the first switch hitter that I saw that was successful. And
Mm.
I think he hit a double from the left side and hit a homer from the right side. I was like, oh man, I want to be like him, but um, I swing left-handed like a donkey's ass. So that's why my switch hitting days were, you know, maybe
Should
about
I
a day.
should I get some questions together for you? Because I don't think I can because I put like a whole bunch of stuff in front of the cards, and if I try to get them, it everything's probably going to fall.
Let's take a chance. Do it for the ratings.
I knew you were going to say that. Hold on, here we go. Ooh, got it. All right, you're in trouble now, buddy. You are in trouble now. Let me see. I'm not looking. I'm not looking. Boom. Here we go.
The answers.
Ooh, this is
Good.
going to be a rough one for you. The topic is seen on screen. One, two, three, four, five. There's 10 of these. I'll give you five. I won't give you all 10 of these. I'll give you five of them.
Bang the drum slowly. Sorry. Go ahead.
I'm
This will
gonna
be that.
I'm gonna flip the card and
That was a
whichever
good one.
side, that's what I'm gonna do. All right, here we go. Where does owner Rachel Phelps want to move the Cleveland Indians in the movie Major League?
Miami.
Miami is correct. Now here's one. This movie is a very good movie. And the actor that plays him is a very good actor. Who plays Earl? Who plays Earl in Rebound? Okay, let me read this. Who plays Earl In Rebound, The Legend of Earl the Goat Mandigoat, a movie about basketball and addiction. And I'll give you. You want me to give you the three
I don't
choices?
because I didn't. I actually didn't watch that movie, so I would not know.
Very good movie. Very
Okay.
good movie. If you ever get a chance to check that movie out, it's a very good movie. Would you? Do you want me to just give you the? Do you want to take a guess? If I give you the three multiple choices,
Yeah, give me three mobiles. Yep.
your choices are Martin Lawrence, Don Cheadle, and Blair Underwood.
What was the name of the movie?
Rebound: The Legend of Earl the Goat Mandigoat.
I'm gonna say Blair Underwood.
That's incorrect. The correct answer is Don Cheadle.
Don
This is
Cheadle.
early in his career.
Got it.
Very early in
That's
his
why I
career.
didn't. Okay.
Which future Rocky movie boxer was one of the players in Semi Tough, a football comedy starring Burt Reynolds? He actually passed away recently. And now I can't give you the multiple choice because the other two are still alive, so I can't give you the multiple choice.
Which Rocky was it in?
Which Rocky was he in? You said
Yeah.
one and two, and I know one and two. I don't know the Rocky movies as well as everybody else, but he was definitely in one and two, and I think three.
Okay. Wait. Repeat the question.
Which future Rocky movie boxer was one of the players in Semi Tough, a football comedy starring Burt Reynolds?
So if he was in the first three Rocky movies, and it would have, and he played a boxer
Hmm.
up. I keep saying Apollo Creed. Carl Weathers.
Carl Weathers is correct.
I overthought that because I
He
was thinking
definitely
about
was.
the stupid Rocky ones, like if he dies, he dies. Rocky Four.
Tommy Gunn and all that.
Tommy the Machine. Ugh.
All right. Which hockey team does Dwayne Johnson play for in the 2010 comedy The Tooth Fairy? I never saw this movie, so
I've never seen that, and I heard it doesn't belong in
I'll just
cinemas.
give you the answer. It's the Lansing Wolves. It's not even an NHL team, so I would never have got that. And
Take it.
last one here. Which Academy Award winning climbing documentary features the famous El Capitan in Yosemite National Park? I don't even understand the question, but do you know? Yeah, I don't think you know.
I don't.
Which Academy Award winning climbing documentary features the famous El Capitan in Yosemite National Park? I'll just give you the answer because I've never heard of this,
A
and
climbing movie. This is a movie about a climber.
I guess so. Never heard of it. To be honest with you, the answer is Free Solo, which I have no idea what that means. But I'm sure somebody watching or listening could let us know. Hit us up at checkswingpc at gmail.com. That's what it is, right? Checkswingpc at gmail.com. Or hit us up on Twitter. We got to put our social media out there a little bit more, too. We got to do that.
Yes, we do.
But with all that being said, we're going to get up out of here. We appreciate y'all for checking us out. All the comments and everything that came through. We appreciate y'all for checking us out, giving us a little bit of your time today. And any last words before we get out of here, Miguel?
Um, quick shout out to one of my summer ball players. His name is Ashton Seawalt. Um, the last game in our tournament in Richmond, Virginia. We it wound up getting rained out, but we wound up getting one game in that we won. And in the bottom of the first, he hit a home run over the left field wall or left center. It was a bomb. Um, and he was nice enough to his mother actually went out and got the or somebody's mother went out and got the home run ball, and then he was given the ball, and then he passed it on to me, and he said that was for my mother-in-law.
Man, that was awesome.
So
How many tears did you have to wipe away for that one?
man,
I know
it was
you.
yeah. I just want to give
You
him a
have
quick
that
shout
tough
out.
exterior shell, but I know you.
Yeah, but it was special thanks to him for that gesture and just that whole Rawlings Prospect 2023 team. They really all the guys, I can name them all, but just a special thanks to them for their support, during a rough time, and look forward to seeing them in the future playing college ball.
Absolutely. Shout out to them, man. Y'all don't know me, but I've been watching y'all from afar. So shout out to the Rollins team, and all the and I wish you all the success in the future.
Appreciate you.
Um, and for all that being said, we're gonna get up out of here. Appreciate y'all listening to the Check Swing podcast. We'll talk to y'all next time. Peace.